People talk about being in competition with self like it's a trophy. I am not competing with myself. I am loving myself more, and in the love for myself, I continue to rise to my greatest dreams and aspirations. No, it's not me versus me. I am loving me. So I made this tweet earlier today on my new Instagram, Olanikees. I made a whole new Instagram because honestly, I just fucking wanted to make a new one and I want to start fresh. So if you're not following me, you can follow me there at Olanikees. I'll have the new link below. Or if you go to my Olanikees page, you'll see. But anyways, let's get to the point. I had seen it again, right? And what I had seen again was it's me versus me. It's me versus me. I'm not in competition. It's me versus me. I just think those things are like a lie. Like if you're not in competition, then why is it versus you? You know, for me, if it's really not a competition, then why do we even have the versus there? For me, the versus is there to signal that we're in competition. Or some people are like, oh, I'm only in competition with myself. And I'm like, I don't agree with that. Like, I think that is a quote that's like quoted over and over and over again. And for a lot of people, it sounds better. Oh, wow, I don't have to compete with other people. I'm going to just say that it's me versus me because it's no real competition. That's the way that my mind should focus on. And I don't agree with that. And I wrote that tweet because the quote is passed around like it's a trophy over and over again. Like this is the aspiration to be. But for me, I'm like, I'm not in competition with myself. To me, competition with self sounds hard. It sounds like being very self-critical. And it sounds like you can never be enough, right? Because for some reason you're in competition with yourself. So for me, that signals I can never be enough. Like I have to keep on striving, keep on going. And so there's this never ending race with it for yourself. There's this never ending race of you competing against yourself to continue striving more and more. And so for me, I say that I'm not in competition with myself. I'm just loving myself. I want to make sure. Yeah, I'm loving myself more and more. And in the love for myself, I continue to rise to my greatest dreams and aspirations. And the reason I say that is because for me, when I'm truly loving myself and I am giving me all that I need, all that I want, all that I desire, healing past traumas, healing beliefs of non-worthiness, healing beliefs of lack, etc., victim beliefs, why me, oh why me, then I will continue to strive for my dreams and my aspirations. But it's a no-brainer. You know, it's like I don't have to compete with myself to have my best life. I don't have to compete with myself to create a life that I desire. And so for me, I don't say that I'm in competition with myself. I just say that I keep on loving me. Because for me, the solution of loving yourself is going to be a better life, right? For me, through my self-love, I'm going to have self-belief, right? I'm going to do the things that I know is possible for me to do because I have self-belief, and that belief continues to expand more and more because I love myself. So then I feel like myself will continue to rise. Like I will continue to rise to the occasion for myself. Now, for some people, when they look at that quote, it's me versus me, that is allowing them to rise to the occasion. Oh, it's me versus me. But for me, when I look at it, it's just not self-serving for me. It's not something that like I want to say or quote or aspire to be. Like for me, I'm like, I love myself and I'm going to be compassionate to myself, and that's what I want to do. Like I don't want to be in competition with myself. I don't want to be running a race within myself, right? There are older versions of me and there are newer versions of me, you know, and so there may be some things that I don't do anymore, but I will never look at those versions and be like, dang, I beat over y'all, right? And I get it. For some people, that could really be what motivates them. That can really be what drives them. But I'm just saying for me, and maybe for some of you all selfish babes, that I just think with self-love and you really being real with yourself and getting to know yourself more and understanding also spiritual laws like law of attraction, taking time to sit with yourself, taking time to sit with the divine, using your prayers and your affirmations and building on your self-belief and actually doing the actions towards the things that you want, those are all acts of self-love. All of those are acts of self-love, right? Creating the life that you want is an act of self-love because you want yourself to be happy. You want yourself to have a good life. You want to be able to get all the things that you desire. And you want to be able to climb against those limiting beliefs that may be in your mind, that people may have put on you, right? And that's self-work, right? But when you do that self-work, that is an act of self-love. And so for me, I just kind of wanted to say this because I'm like, I don't think it's me versus me. It's a trophy to carry around. I don't personally think that's something to be proud of, but I know it's like, you know, that thing where you have popular quotes and people just share them because they really believe in them. And I'm not going to say that I wasn't guilty of sharing quotes, but now I just kind of read things and I'm like, well, do I really agree with this? And if I don't agree with it, why? And if I do agree with it, why, you know, why is that? So if you are a selfish babe that's like, man, it's me versus me, I'm my only competition, and that truly helps you strive for the best in life, then keep it for you, right? But I'm speaking to the selfish babes where I know for me, when I read that quote multiple times on Instagram and Twitter, I'm like, I don't really see myself in competition with myself. Like, that doesn't seem like a happy place to be. I just feel like when we think of the word competition, right, it's like, that's not fun. That's not joyful. That's not nice. Sometimes with competition, there's jealousy. I'm like, oh, I don't want to be jealous of myself, you know? So I strive to think about like what these words mean for me. And people could be like, well, I could say the same thing for selfish. Like, selfish is a bad thing, right? But with selfish babe, we're twisting the energy around it. We're like, no, it's okay to choose you, right? So for me, one of those annoying quotes I always talk about was, self-love is not selfish. But on my end, I'm like, no, self-love is selfish. So again, I take these quotes and these things and I'm like, do I agree with this? And do I not agree with this, and why? And just like self-love is not selfish, I'm like, no, self-love is selfish because it's about self. At the end of the day, it's about you. And so for you, selfish babe, I just ask you, do you want to be in competition with yourself? Does that help you? If so, keep it. If it's like, no, I actually don't want to be in competition with myself. I just want to continue loving myself and showing up for myself and being the best me that I can be and loving me where I'm at, as well as being open and receptive to learning more that will continue to help grow me and nourish me and help to expand me, right? Because when you're sitting with yourself, when you're asking yourself what you want, when you're chatting with the divine, when you're even lighting your candles, when you're saying your prayers, like all the spiritual stuff, it's like, that spiritual work is going to help impact your life for the better. That unseen work, what I like to call the unseen, is going to impact your life for the better. So that self-work that you're doing on that internal level, on the unseen level, right, will reflect in your physical manifestation. It will reflect in your life. And so for me, that's not competition. For me, that's showing up for myself, that's loving myself, that's me doing the work. And that is why I also talk about self-love being a spiritual journey. It's spiritual work to love yourself. At least on the Selfish Babe standpoint, it's spiritual work to love yourself. And if you follow the Instagram page at Selfish Babes, I will be talking a lot more about that spiritual work. But all of this is internal work. All of this is unseen work. And some of it is going out and doing the action and doing the things so that you can see a better physical manifestation for yourself. But a lot of it is unseen work. But anyways, I just wanted to let y'all know about that. I don't agree with it, but I'm going to say my quote one more time so that you're left with that in your mind. It says, people talk about being in competition with self like it's a trophy. I am not competing with myself. I am loving myself more. And in the love for myself, I continue to rise to my greatest dreams and aspirations. No, it's not me versus me. I am loving me. And with that, Selfish Babe, I am out. I love you very much. If you want to subscribe to my diary, I haven't really talked about it, but my diary is a place where I go write my deepest thoughts, my past experiences, and I talk about the lessons that I've learned, you can go to olanikeesdiary.com. I know that from reading my diary entries, you will learn something. That is a subscription charge of $10 a month right now. Do not forget to buy the Self Love by SelfishBabe Perfume and Blessing Oil. Okay, we had one SelfishBabe order 3 oils today. Okay, this Perfume and Blessing Oil is a natural oil. There's no alcohol. It smells fucking divine. And when you say your prayers and your affirmations, you rub the oil on you, and that is going to help attract more blessings to your life. Okay, all right, I'm out for real. Bye.